Hi, I'm Joel Richards with a look at what's happening in Latin America now. First up, here's our news trivia. Which two Latin American countries said they are exploring the idea of a common currency? We'll have the answer to that later on. The presidents of Brazil, Chile, Cuba, Bolivia, Uruguay and Colombia arrived in Argentina and joined host President Alberto Fernandez at the summit of the Community of Latin America and Caribbean States. The leaders talked about integration and post-COVID cooperation, but there were notable absences. The most notorious was the last-minute cancellation by Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro. And now we go to my colleague Dan Collyns, who has the latest on the political turmoil in Peru that has resulted in over 60 people dead during street protests.
Joel, Peru's President Dina Boluarte called for a, quote, political truce on Tuesday as hundreds of protesters again took to the streets of the capital Lima. Once again, violent clashes erupted between some people in the crowds and the police. Nearly 7 weeks after Dina Boluarte became Peru's president after her predecessor, Pedro Castillo, was removed for trying to dissolve Congress, unrest continues to grip the country. The protests have spread to the capital Lima from Peru's southern Andes, where the majority of the more than 50 deaths of civilians occurred. Many demonstrators have travelled to the city, joining local protesters demanding Boluarte's resignation, the closure of Congress, fresh elections and a new constitution. The UN and human rights groups have expressed deep concern about the excessive use of force by the Peruvian police and army. But Boluarte has said she will not resign and said protesters did not have a social agenda and were only interested in committing violence and destruction. Government attempts at dialogue have failed. The crisis has laid bare Peru's deep-rooted social inequality amid what analysts warn could be a slide towards authoritarianism.
Chilean authorities denied operation permits for a mining project that's worth around $2.5 billion. The Dominga copper and iron mine failed the environmental exam because it was due to be built near a nature reserve that provides home to 80% of a rare species of penguins. Now let's check out the stories we're following for next week. El Salvador handed over to Colombia a woman suspected in the murder of a Paraguayan special anti-corruption prosecutor who was killed last May while on honeymoon at a beach in Colombia. The 42-year-old woman is accused of participating in the planning to assassinate prosecutor Marcelo Pecci. Police said she has been hiding in El Salvador since June. And now the answer to our news trivia. The answer is C. South America's largest economies, Brazil and Argentina, are setting new integration goals, and one of them is to discuss the creation of a common currency. The presidents of both countries made the announcement in a joint article published by an Argentine newspaper. They say that the common currency could be used for financial and commercial flows as an alternative to the US dollar. The presidents want this project to be extended to the entire region, but experts agree it could take many years to fully implement. That's it for this week. We'll see you again soon on Latin America Now.